Perfect. All right. So here with Lotte Clapp of the USA Rugby and Saracens women's rugby team. So Lotte, again, thank you for your time today. So I just wanted to touch base with you about the upcoming Pac 4. So you're going to be joining the squad in New Zealand, I believe. Not for the first match on USA soil, but yeah, getting going. How excited are you for this year's competition?
Yeah, really excited. I mean, going into the camp that we were in a few months ago with the new staffing and different players coming in, it was brilliant to kind of see the progress that we are making. That South Africa game, I think it was brilliant that you can see that we're starting to kind of play the brand of rugby that we want USA to look like. So no, definitely excited to see where we can go. Looking into the girls obviously have the game this weekend. They're in camp at the moment. I see all the messages coming through on the WhatsApp group whilst I'm away, whilst I'm still at work. But no, really excited to be joining them in a few weeks.
No, that's fantastic. And I mean, again, like you've just touched on with the brand of rugby, so it's a great opportunity to put that out in front of your home fans. So, how excited are the squad to be finally playing back in the USA? I believe it's the first time since 2021, so long overdue.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's such a shame that I can't be out there. But like I said, seeing the messages from the girls, seeing them getting back into training, being on home soil, I know it's so important for them to be able to have the fans there supporting them. It makes such a difference when you can kind of hear that support around you, and kind of bringing women's rugby up in the USA is so important to be able to keep the team building. So no, really looking forward to watching them from afar.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, looking through obviously the squad, there's so many players playing in the Premiership now, which is obviously great for the USA team as a whole, and obviously that North American rivalry with Canada, who lost. Well, they've been fantastic across the past three Pac 4s, obviously winning it in 2021. So, what will it take for your teammates to get over the line and get the perfect start this weekend against Canada?
I think there'll be a lot of factors in the game, both in attack and defence. We've got lots of work-ons at the moment. Although we had a really great result against South Africa, it was nowhere near perfect. So kind of keep making sure that we keep hold of the ball against Canada. I mean, it seems obvious, but it's so important against a team who are such an attacking threat. And then just making sure that we keep our processes in defence, kind of all staying on the same page, making sure that little things like getting around the corner so that we're not too narrow in defence, because as soon as we give the edge to Canada, we know that they'll take it. So just making sure that we're getting those processes right, and then hopefully we'll come out on the right side.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And in terms of the coaching staff changes, what have been the immediate sort of changes that you guys have felt as a group of players? Is there anything in particular that's been the main work on so far? I mean, you've highlighted the South African fixture, and again, like you're saying, you're going to be going up in standard now against Canada, Australia, New Zealand, three very good teams. So, what are the key work-ons across the competition?
So I think what's come into the team the most from having Sione in and Ray in, from the South Africa camp, is just having that clarity in the team. They make everything sound so simple, but it's all done very tactically, and a lot of thought is put in behind it. So kind of like I say, both in attack and defence, there's masses of learning for the girls, but it's that small detail, being able to kind of play a brand of rugby where we can play exciting rugby and get the ball moving from edge to edge, and having that kind of triple threat, being able to kick, pass, run, and then having the aggression in defence and being able to keep balls out and keep keep teams being knocked back constantly, not being as passive in defence, and having those easy gaps for them. So lots of work-ons. It's hard to kind of nail down one or two, because as a team there is a lot that we need to get done, but it's just kind of keeping those things simple and developing and adding more and more layers as we go through this year.
Yeah, no, of course. And again, I guess having that time together as a squad, it's a brilliant opportunity to really nail those down. In terms of obviously not involving the USA, but looking towards the Six Nations with a view to sort of WXB and all that side of things. I mean, England are phenomenal. France look like they're coming along. I know there's been a lot of chatter about with Ireland and Wales and countries like that. As you kind of look towards building the women's game as a whole, and the Premiership is just so far ahead, really standard wise, where do you see the biggest gains for the teams across the board in terms of, is it more access to this high level club rugby, or is it just more time together with international camps? I would just be really interested to hear your thoughts on that.
I think it's a balance. I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest. Obviously, England are so lucky, and they can spend a lot of time together, which makes a huge difference. Honestly, in the 10 days that we had in the camp at Surrey Sports Park, we came on leaps and bounds, and just being able to train as a team twice a day and be around each other and have those conversations with each other and learn how each other plays makes such a difference. So yeah, 100% being able to spend more time with each other. Obviously, with USA and with certain players playing in England, it doesn't make that time together a lot harder to bring everyone in the same environment, but it's definitely worthwhile. But no, as you say as well, having quality game time week in, week out makes a world of difference as well. I feel so lucky that I'm able to play in the league in England, where I get rugby every single week, and it is a tough game of rugby. It's a high quality game of rugby. And like you say, you can see the girls who have joined a team in England, how much they have developed over the past season or two, being able to be exposed to regular rugby. And I think that's where kind of it becomes a little bit trickier in the US, not being able to be exposed to regular rugby and not being able to play as easily does make things hard to develop individually, which then when kind of contributing to an international team, it does make life a lot harder.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, I guess for the USA as a whole, you've seen the MLR coming along, so I guess that would be the next logical step, right? Is getting a real competitive women's version of the MLR going and trying to get that league running, as the Premiership here, like you're saying, is such a high standard that you want to have that regular access to that sort of game, which is really interesting. And just on for you, because you have such a unique story, having played for England and now the USA, what sort of cultural differences have you found in between the two sides? Yeah, I mean, just across the board.
I just absolutely love playing for USA. Like you say, the culture it's just a really lovely environment to be in, and everybody is wanting the best for every single person in that team. I mean, it just shows literally the day I arrived in my first camp. I didn't feel out of place at all. Everybody was so welcoming. Everybody is so eager to learn. Everybody kind of it's just, you feel really part of the team, and you feel like you can go to anybody to have that conversation, whether it's rugby or whether it's not. So no, it's just a really lovely environment to be in. But like you say, the girls are there and they're wanting to develop and they're wanting to be the best as well.
Yeah, no, that's great, and that's where again the experience of those players in the Premiership makes such a difference. On that, I mean, it doesn't get tougher than New Zealand, New Zealand, right? So, I mean, just how much are you personally relishing that exposure and that fixture?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got the opportunity last year, the year before, to go to New Zealand and play New Zealand. And it was a tough old game. So it's just kind of making sure we go out there and we do better than we did last time we played them, for sure. You have to be on your game. You have to be ready for kind of everything they're going to throw at you, ready to be physical, ready to be fast, because like you say, they are quality rugby players. They know how to throw the ball about, for sure. So no, I'm so excited to get out there and to do it in New Zealand. New Zealand is such a amazing country as well. I feel so privileged to be able to be going out there for a third time in the past few years. So yeah, really looking forward to being able to go out there and play with the girls.
No doubt. And looking at the legacy that was left by the World Cup down in New Zealand, how excited are you for the USA and 2033? Jeepers, it's a while off now, but or yeah, I've got that right, haven't I? Yeah, it's on the third year. Yeah, I mean, just how excited are you for that to be able to leave a similar sort of legacy for the next generation of USA players?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the game has it's growing so much, the women's game, and you can see that by, like you say, the numbers that they're getting to the Six Nations matches this year. It'll be interesting to see how many numbers they hit at the LA game. That will be really kind of telling to see where women's rugby is at the moment and where we can take it. So no, for sure, being able to expose USA to more and more women's rugby and encourage more younger players to start playing it is really exciting for the World Cup that's going to be out there. Not next year, but the next one.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And I just wanted to delve back into how did the opportunity to play for the USA come about for you? So I'm correct in saying your mother's from America, so that's where the eligibility comes in. And so who sort of made the USA aware that you might be ready to go and make the switch?
I did actually.
Fantastic.
No, so I got a message from one of my friends just sending me the article because I'd played for England, but then the new rule came in that if you
Hmm.
hadn't played for that country for 3 years, then you are able to move if you
Hmm.
are eligible elsewhere. So no, I got sent the article, and just with the World Cup coming up, where I was in my rugby, it seemed like a kind of an opportunity there that I hadn't actually thought of. And then it just so happened that the head coach at the time for USA had been my head coach at Saracens.
Hmm.
So I just gave him a phone call and let him know that that I was around and that I was eligible. And then yeah, the wheels got in motion pretty soon after that.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah, incredible how that comes around. I mean, that eligibility across the board with both the men's and women's game has made such a difference. I mean, you see it on the men's side with the likes of Samoa, Tonga, Fiji getting a lot of players back. So it makes a big difference for you with your experience with the USA squad. What names should we be looking out for in this Pac 4 young players sort of coming through? Who are you most excited to see getting out on the pitch?
I think for sure Frida. She is a young player coming through, but she has power, she has skill. And I know that she wasn't involved in the South Africa game, but I know that she's in camp at the moment with the girls. And no, I'm super excited to see her take off. She's got a lot of growth that I'm looking forward to see as well, and know that she's got a lot still in the tank to give, a lot of learning to do, but I think she's definitely one to watch out for.
Yeah, fantastic. And if you don't mind me touching just sort of on your club game, so you guys have Gloucester in round 17, I believe, which is a big one. Obviously, they're flying at the moment. I don't believe they've lost yet this season, which is huge. For Saris as a club, how have you found the infrastructure overall in terms of for the Premiership and what's sort of the big goal? I guess it is taking out the Premiership title, right? And how do you close that gap on Gloucester?
Yeah, absolutely. So Um, we're focusing on Cup at the moment, so I've got Cup final this weekend, and then, like you say, go back into the league. And I think it's just kind of taking one match at a time. I think we've got Sale, Loughborough, and Exeter. Oh no, we've got
So
Exeter
you
and
got two
Sale
between now, yeah, between two before Gloucester, right? Yeah.
Before we play Gloucester. So there's always having that transition time when players are coming back in, that have been out for Six Nations, and other international tournaments. So it's just coming back on the same page. That's kind of the first thing. And remembering how you play when you're at a certain club, because obviously it's slightly different depending on where you're playing, which country you're playing for. So that'll be the first thing. And then the week when we get to Gloucester, obviously we'll have a focus, and it will be a big game. But just trying to get a home semi-final. That's what we're gunning for at the end of the day. Because we realised how important that was last year. It was a tough gig going to Sandy Park for a semi-final last year. So that's what we're aiming for this year, and then we'll take everything as it comes.
Yeah, because you've got a game in hand currently, I think. So it's, I mean, it's so tight in the top four. Obviously, Gloucester a little bit ahead points wise at the minute, but 2 to 4 is so tight. Like you're saying with the home semi, it makes such a big difference. Which is very exciting. So but Lotte, thank you so much for your time. This has been really helpful. It's really excited to see you guys getting after it in the Pac4. And yeah, best of luck with the competition.
Thank you so much. It was lovely to talk to you.